Hey everybody, today I've got another fantastic guitar for you. This is the Gretsch Outlaw, and it is quite decorated by yet another artist who I only learned of when I got onto Reverb and checked out their product offerings. Anyway, I'm going to basically share a song with you. Let's call it Wrong or Right. And again, this is the Gretsch Outlaw, and I'm just kind of making up chords, so just bear with me. This may or may not make sense to you. When I was a young man, I thought I would try. Now that I'm an old man, I've died on the inside. When they come to get me, I won't even try. What's the point of living with no wrong or right? After I died, I had shed all my sins. Wonder how much time till we shed all our old skins. Now that we see with each other's illusions, then we'll start to see where each other's solutions. I think you can tell I messed up there. So let me try to do that again. After I died, I had shed all my sins. Wonder how much time till we shed all our old skins. Maybe when we see past each other's illusions, then we'll start to see where each other's solutions. When I was a young man, I thought I would try. Now that I'm an old man, I've died on the inside. When they come to get me, I won't even try. What's the point of living with no wrong or right? And I don't try. No wrong or right. So again, this tune is called Wrong or Right, and I've played it to you using this Gretsch Outlaw, which is fantastic. Look at the, can you see that? The selectors, they're all shotgun shells. How cool, huh? I've showcased this guitar before in a different song that I played while I was basically just kind of coming up with stuff lyrically. And over the course of time, I think that I've started to learn to appreciate singing better. And what I mean is, like before, I was kind of treating it like going up into a meeting unprepared and not really presenting something with the emotion that was due to be paired with whatever it was that was being brought to you in the form of a song, whatever story it was that was being brought to you. In today's case, this is the second song that I'm recording, but I'm probably going to post it first to say, first of all, anyone who helped me on my on my eBay auctions, thank you so much for sharing the word. Thank you so much for helping me to present those items in a way that would help me to receive top dollar for what it was that I was trying to achieve. In this channel, what we do is we talk about wellness and conservation, and we talk about it with all kinds of junctions that happen to include spirituality and health that is not just physical but also mental. And so we talk on these subjects like as if everything is interconnected. Let's say that we believe that everything is interconnected. If we believe that everything's interconnected, then we understand that when we present this message to the universe, it's going to resonate one way or another. And we also understand that as people accept us, they accept us for all who we are. And that means flaws and all. So if you do backtrack and listen to some of the songs where I don't really sing all that great, but for whatever reason you have resonated with me enough to backtrack and understand that lyrically I was saying something even back then you'll probably backtrack and say, hey, Ray, maybe I'd like to hear this other song with your new voice, and maybe you can put some new life into it. Maybe you are a superstar yourself in the rock industry, and you're seeing this message because of some tale that I told about something else. God only knows what. But whatever that tale is, you're starting to hear conversationally something that maybe you have difficulty hearing from someone else. And the reason you're hearing it is God only knows why. What I do know is that there are no really simple coincidences. There are really intricate coincidences that can lead to certain segments, certain individuals to communicate together, to bridge conversation that was formerly unable to be bridged, and to help resonate with one another in a way where we understand that we are being acknowledged for what it is that we bring to each other's life. So with all of that in mind, peace is peace, love is love. Life is something that we either enjoy, even through the down times. It's something that we see with its flaws. It's something that we see where we can understand where certain things came from. It's something where we can see so that we can understand where things are going. So when we see something and we know, hey, that thing's going in a different direction, sometimes we tend to shy away, which is why I believe there is a tremendous division lately in terms of who will be able to have a conversation with one another fully. And I think that we're all on the same boat trying to figure out how are we going to row in the same direction when we've got so much division. The first thing we might want to do is pause. Take a pause, take a moment. Was a young man, I thought I would try. Now that I'm an old man, I've died on the inside. Anyway, I wasn't going to play the whole song. I just wanted to say, you've really got to pause to hear a story. Any song that we've ever resonated with, and we've heard a song, it's played in all of the major arenas where we hear a snippet of it. That snippet is the snippet that we recognize almost all the time. But can we say the words to all of the entire song that was played and not just the snippet that's played for our regular routine exposure and enjoyment? When we play an entire song and understand it lyrically, there's a difference. It's like when my first favorite rock band was something that I came to actually know when I heard a tape, a cassette tape. Can you believe that? When I heard a cassette tape and there was an instrumental on there with 0 songs, with 0 words. When I heard that instrumental, I recognized the band who played many other non-instrumental songs, who played a lot of rock songs with heavy rock vocals and lyrics. And I recognized the music in a way where I paid attention to what was being said in the songs. The songs sometimes are kind of hard to, rock and roll is sometimes it's hard to hear what someone is saying. And, because we'll hear something a certain way and we might go, that's the music that so-and-so listened to, and I don't like so-and-so, so I really don't like that music. Or that's the music that I only listen to or see in the movies when there's someone that's just like one of those nonconformists. You know how much we don't like the nonconformists. The reality is we're all individuals, and we're attempting to break free from the conformity that is causing us these difficulties communicating with one another. Because most people, even if they don't like, for an example, the next guitar that I'm going to be showcasing, they will love this guitar. All the way up until, and maybe they won't, because it's got pictures of things on here that are compelling. But who has not been shot through the heart with an arrow in some way or another? Who has not been let down by somebody? We're all going to, here's a hint, we're all going to be let down by mankind. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be a letdown. Even if we live the perfect life together, at some point, someone's going to check out, depending on what the rules of the civilization are at that point in time. And by check out, I mean move on to the next dimension, you know, the pie in the sky, give up the ghost. When that happens, the other person who's remaining is going to be let down. Or maybe they have the luxury of passing at the same time, you know, those best friends who they are. So some people may immediately cease liking this video because of that imagery that I showed to begin with. Some people might not like that I said something about dying on the inside. You know, that I said something about saying, basically I was saying in my song, now that I'm an old man, I've died on the inside. What does that mean? Some of these observations that I'm making with today's era, I'm putting them into lyrics so that lyrically across the board, we can level the playing field. And that's, to me, the most sportsman-like way of having conversations anymore. Some people want to fight and say, look, so-and-so, the last time that we talked about this, you said that. There's an emotion that comes into that. And we see that on television dramas. We see that on shows where basically someone's going to be all amped up and have this feeling. And so a lot of times, just because someone maybe wears black, like let's say, for an example, in that show that had a scene about jumping the shark. Has anyone ever heard the saying jumping the shark and know what it has to do with? I didn't. I found that out a couple of days ago. And I still remember, because my mind is learning things constantly, because this is a fun place. This is a fun place no matter what level of apocalypse we're facing. It is a fun and unique place for us to be able to come up with solutions. Today I was watching a video about prepping, and someone was talking about burying something that they may not access for another 10 years possibly, and I started wondering, what if we all, because I know that prepping goes so far, there's warehouses stocked with all kinds of things, just in case there's a supply outage. What if we all acted as if we don't need to have everything right now, all at once? What if there were, how many guitars are in here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have you guys seen this one? 7? Here, I'll show it to you. I'll show this to you in another segment. What if there were 7 people here right now able to play these guitars? What if we were able to still have get-togethers where people weren't afraid of using their voices behind a mask? And what if when we took our masks off, we never had a mask on to begin with? You see, some of us, even though we'll take off our mask in certain situations, we still have a mask on and we're not able to have a full conversation. These, to me, are indicators of mental health being potentially compromised or at least spiritually hijacked. And again, like I say, I'm talking about these topics. You might be like, oh, this is one of those, whatever it is that I'm being qualified as by someone else who's judging, that's fine. You judge me however you want. And also welcome the possible potential that some of what's being said might be true, because it takes one to know one. I know how it's been when I lived under a guise, an illusion, a guise. I know what it was like living under an illusion. I lived the corporate world for a long time, and I did that to appease our fathers, because who doesn't like a person to be constantly employed by something that has been valued across the entire city or nation, for that matter, even globally in some cases? Who doesn't want their lineage to be recognized by a certain set of typical traditions? You know, you act a certain way, you live a certain way. And I say you because basically I'm pointing at myself in almost a hostility. Let me take the venom out and say, we act a certain way, we follow a certain type of, we even sometimes speak a certain way. Some people think I'm a California surfer, and some people think I'm something else entirely. Just on looks alone, they might think I'm something. Just on the way I look right now. I could look different 30 days from now, and some people will judge me two completely different ways. I could be holding a different guitar tomorrow and saying something in a whole different light, and someone can judge me a whole different way. We have to hear the whole story. We would benefit from having the entire complete conversation. So, did you see that? The lights just turned on. Well, it looks like we got the green light to go ahead and call this one a day. Don't have such a blue day. Remember, for every dark night, there's a bright day after that, and all that stuff. Peace, love, and all that old school stuff. Thank you so much for subscribing and for continuing to share and continuing to have conversations. And I don't mean just with me. Thank you so much for opening your heart and helping for our health to resonate on a higher frequency. I can feel it, and I know you guys can feel it too. And I sometimes am pretty mechanical in the way that I talk. You can watch my entire video segment and just see, you know, I'm sure I'm cut out for something. It's possibly, maybe it's not this, maybe it is this. But for the longest time, we've taken this long to get to 209 subscribers. I can't even get to the 210. That's where I came from San Antonio. Can't even get to the 210 that easily on this channel, because it talks about a lot of deep things, and it's entertaining for me to think about. If I was watching this video, I would think, wow, this guy's weird. He's like talking to himself. I'm talking with you. You know it just as much as I know it, but I'm talking with you. I'm talking with you, Felicia. I'm talking with you, anyone who has basically had difficulties having conversations. I'm talking to our fathers. I'm talking to you, Dad. I learned it from watching you. I learned it from watching YouTube. How about you? Peace, love, and all that old school stuff. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.